no moss. And I worn out my shoes running through these honky tonks. Singing the Uhlen Branch Blues. Yeah, singing the Uhlen Branch Blues. The Uhlen Branch Blues. That's right.
All right, hey, welcome everybody. It's episode 6. I've got Rick Parter today as my featured artist, but helping me out again is Steve Perry, and I'm your host, Dylan Merrill. How you doing today, Steve? What you been into?
Doing good. I've been just hanging out since AK shut down. Rick knows all about that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, Rick, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm enjoying my unemployment. That's kind of what I'm doing right
Yeah,
now.
riding her out.
Oh yeah, I'm riding it out.
Yeah, you find a way to spend the money.
Yeah. You don't make as much money on unemployment as you do working, so you can't pick up an overtime turn if you want something new. You know? So that's
But you just learn to adjust, right?
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
That's where I'm at, in the adjustment stage.
You probably learn pretty quick to adjust, don't you?
Yeah.
I'd rather live on adjusting if I could sit at the house, I believe. But got a great show again today. Usually, Rick, we ask people, what got you into music, what your interests and what inspired you and everything. But I don't know if we're going to have time as much stuff as you're into. You got a Facebook page that connects people with. I want to go right into that. Tell us about your Facebook page. You got is it Tri-State Music?
Yeah, live music in the Tri-States on Facebook, and deals with mainly Ashland, Ironton, Huntington, West Virginia. I do a little bit in Portsmouth, and I branch out into Greenup County and Barbersville and places, and it's like a one-stop shop. People can go to it, and I update it every week. Who's playing where at what music venue?
Well, I can tell you right now, I used you the other day. Me and the old lady was going to have a date night, and we wanted to go out to eat, try a new place out, but I kind of wanted to have live music too. And so I was like, man, he told me about that Tri-State page, so I started going through there, and I seen her name's Lindsay. I guess it's just Lindsay.
Yes.
And I seen her flyer on there. She was at the Wild Horse Saloon that night, and that's the first time we tried the Wild Horse Saloon, and I found it right on your page. So I've already used it, like made use of it, and it's just so handy. Have you seen it, Steve?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, you
just type in live music, and it probably will come up, say live music in the Tri-State.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, I try to go through every venue that plays live music.
That's awesome.
Not karaoke, but live music.
Now, how long is this taking you to get this up and running? I'd say this sounds like a process to me.
Well, I started it probably about 6 months ago because it was, if you go on Facebook and you're trying to find out where somebody's playing at,
oh yeah,
you'll be thumbing through the pages forever trying to find. And so I just said, this is ridiculous. So I want something very simple. You can go right to it. Go right to the updated page where it's telling you, gives you I do each week, and then I go ahead and I put promos on there if bands or venues make a promo.
Yeah.
I just copy what they did, and I put it on the page, just simple.
Wow.
So, like I said, you can go right to it and find out where somebody's playing.
It's Dylan proof.
Yeah,
Dylan
could use
Dylan
it.
proof. I got on there and just flying around on like I created the thing. I mean, it's that simple. I mean,
yeah, I never set out to try to do it to try to make money off of it. I did it to try to support
Local.
Local.
Yeah.
And
awesome. That's what
support
this is all about.
music
That's right.
venues and support musicians.
That's awesome,
so
buddy.
that's the reason why.
6 months. So you started this before you got laid off?
I started before I got laid off. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was just thinking about it because I'd had going into a long weekend, and I was trying to say who's playing where. I'd like to see some music, and so I was at work there, and I said this takes too long to do this, so I went with it.
I'll definitely check that out.
Oh, you got to.
love it.
Get on it.
Love
So
the
tri-state music, right? That's
Live music in the tri-state.
live music in the
Music
tri-state.
tri-state. We'll definitely use that.
But you also, are you still involved at Callahan's?
Yes, I am. Every Wednesday night, I do the Callahan's Acoustic Jam Session, and I've been doing that for probably a little over 6 years. I've been doing that.
Wow, that's crazy. There's
So
tons of live music coming through there. I've seen all kinds of bands out there.
I'm getting out there. I'm coming out.
yeah,
What
it's
time does it start?
Wednesday at 6 o'clock. I
Wednesday
start
at
at 6
6.
o'clock, and I will play. I could play 15 minutes. I could play an hour. It just depends on who comes in to sign up immediately.
yeah.
But it goes all the way till 10 o'clock
Oh, that's
every
awesome.
Wednesday.
Well, Steve, you ought to get out there and play
I
some
know.
too.
I know.
Did you even know about it?
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Didn't even know about it?
No.
Yeah, they have all kinds of live music out there.
This work thing has really had me.
Oh, you're freed up now.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm afraid
yeah.
that we worked that shift work. And so, you know
Oh
how it is.
yeah, I know
mean,
how it
yeah,
is. It's when you get one weekend off a
yes.
month, you ain't got time to do anything. So that's why that was one of the reasons why I started that other page, because I ain't got time to look.
Yeah, I know what you're
If I ain't got time to look, then I ain't gonna go see it.
Man, I love that
that's right.
idea, Rick.
So
That's awesome.
That's what I'm saying, man. He's busy. He's
Yeah,
busy
buddy.
with the local music scene, whether it's playing, booking. You got Facebook page. What am I leaving out? I'm leaving something out.
listen locally.
Listen locally.
Yeah, we just got let's see, probably around 6 months or so. Got with Renee Collins and out of Lexington, and got hooked up through Listen Locally, which Listen Locally is it's like a music management, but it promotes local music, live music, original music all across the state of Kentucky, and open mics all across the state of Kentucky and the venues that host those open mics.
Wow.
So
Yeah, so, I mean, he's busy.
Yeah,
He's
I
getting
guarantee.
he's getting
so
local music.
You are affiliated with that, like this area up in here, up in northeastern Kentucky part.
yeah, I'm the one in this area.
Yeah,
I'm the
I
host. We're the host open mic from this area of Kentucky, and there's several in Lexington. There's some in Louisville, Somerset, Georgetown. I mean, I can go on and on. There's like 15
But
right
it's all
now.
kind of
But they're-
tied to the central Listen Local.
Yeah, we all support one another. So if I share my Wednesday upcoming open mic, it's shared through Listen Locally, and the other hosts that host the other open mics will share it too.
So you've
To
tied
say
the
if
whole
you're ever
state
passing
together.
through this town on this day, hey, go to one of our Listen Locally open mics.
I know you've been in all this stuff and you're busy, but I would be interested in to know what inspired you. At what age did you start playing? Because I know you just didn't start playing yesterday. I heard you picking there a little bit.
Yeah.
And I know that just don't happen overnight.
No, I grew up in a music family. My dad played probably every animal bar all around the tri-state area, which if you don't know what an animal bar is, an animal bar is elks, eagles, a moose.
all of them.
Yeah.
So those
Right,
are usually your places that bands always played back in the day. And I'd been in every one of them as a kid. And my grandfather also played. My grandfather played bluegrass. And so I grew up as a kid hearing music and
You
playing
didn't have
music.
a choice.
No, I caught the bug real early.
Right.
But it was tough on me because my dad was left-handed, and he played left-handed upside down. So I could actually play his guitar because it was strung up that way. But watching him note a chord was, very hard for me to.
I'm left-handed, but
So-
I play right-handed.
But see,
There's a lot of musicians
Yes.
just like that, ain't they?
yes, there is. But the way he had to note, because the strings were upside down.
Right. You couldn't-
his
you couldn't
chord,
visually see how
Yeah.
he was
So
doing it,
sometimes
yeah.
I got accused one time of somebody said that I was flipping him off while I was playing a show. And it was just actually the way I note, because that's how I learned how to note the chord watching my dad, you know. So
That's
it was,
funny.
I'm like, I don't know what this guy's talking about. And I go, oh,
So
I know what he's talking about.
You're saying your grandpa was bluegrass.
Yes.
So what was your dad? Country? Just
My
did
dad
about
played
anything?
country, classic rock and roll, a lot of your old country,
Yeah.
Waylon and Willie, and then he started getting into some of the classic rock. And
Wow. So you've heard it all then.
Yes,
you
I've-
growed up, kicked your teeth on all of it, huh?
as a kid, I remember just being a kid. My dad usually had practices at our house, at a couple of houses that we'd had, and he always had them there. So as a kid, I'd sit and watch him play live till.
He was like a sponge. You
Oh
just
yeah,
absorbed
till
it. Now,
1,
you have-
2 o'clock in the morning. I would sit and watch till I fell asleep on the floor.
Do you have siblings? Do they all?
I have 2
musically
sisters.
inclined?
No, they
musically?
don't. They don't play.
So it's just you sucked up all the
Yeah,
musical
you-
genes.
Well,
Rock Thompson said it's in his genes, but it's only in his genes. He sucked it all up.
I can honestly say that I'm probably musically, I'm not even close to what my dad was. My dad could play anything. I mean, it didn't matter what it was. He could pick it up and be playing it. If he'd never seen it before in his life, no matter what kind of instrument it was, he could play it in no time. I can't do that.
And you know, which we was talking about with Brock, a lot of these young kids, he learned on YouTube and these tabs and stuff. Man, we're old school, Rick.
I didn't.
I hate to say it, but
There was no
I know-
YouTube back in my
it
day,
was
so
just,
it was
play
learn-
it back over
Yeah,
and over.
yeah, it
That's
was
the way me.
try and try again.
Yeah,
You know?
and never did get it quite right. It seems like I did.
writing notes down that because there was no internet, so you had to write notes down on a piece of paper, make your own.
Did you say no internet?
Yeah, no internet.
Like none?
No, it wasn't even around when I was starting to learn how to play. So.
I don't even know what y'all are talking about.
Oh dear.
Yeah, when I was in high school, they were still just starting to do. They had computers, but there was no internet. It was just making up little programs and stuff, and that was it.
Hey, this is really interesting, but I think we need to get into a song here. What do you
yeah.
got? You
Play
got for something?
Well, I will play you one that I just wrote and just put it out on Facebook. I just write them and then put them on there. I need to get them recorded, but this one's called "All of Your Heart," and it's a song. It's kind of been on my mind a lot because I have a special needs child, and there's a lot of divorce and special needs families, and having a kid with special needs, it can put a weight on a marriage, and I think you see a lot of parents just kind of neglecting the marriage and putting all their effort into the child, and then they end up just,
So this is your spin on that?
That's my spin on
All
that,
right.
So it's called All of My Heart. I know life can get crazy, letting time slip away, coming home way too tired, had a long end of the day. Honey, I ain't forgotten what you mean to me. You're everything I wanted. You're all that I need. Don't you stand there, look at me that way. Darling, come here and hold me, so I'll forget about today. Let me whisper I love you as we're in each other's arms. I wanna hear you say you love me we got here, how we ended up this way, taking little things for granted as we go through our day. No, I don't always tell you how proud I am that you're mine. So from here on out, baby, I'm gonna take the time. So don't just stand there, look at me that way. Darling, come here and hold me, so I'll forget about today. Let me whisper I love you as we're in each other's arms. Wanna hear you say you love me with all of your heart. Wanna hear you say you love me with all of your heart.
Rick, that's that's deep, man. Woo.
Dude, I like that.
Makes that beer go down easy.
Oh, I'm telling you, dude, you could listen to that. Man, that's people. I mean, I don't have the. I didn't have the blessings or the obstacles that comes with a special needs child. You know, it's got its ups and downs, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
And the biggest thing people forget is like the two taking the parents. Man, I couldn't imagine the strain that's put.
Yeah, it's with us. You know, some people have a great support system through family. We didn't really have that with our kid, and he's 20. He's getting ready to turn 21, and but you know, I tell you, it's been a blessing for me watching him, because he just, the things that we soak in, you know, getting mad or hate or aggravation or disliking somebody or you know, but anything, you know, because sometimes, you know, I mean, we get petty. People get petty. He just doesn't comprehend that. It just never comes out in him. So everything he sees is just wonderful. He loves everybody.
See,
everybody's
that's
great.
The blessings I'm talking about. You know,
Yeah. So it's
Humbles you.
yeah.
When you see it. I guarantee
It's
it.
every day I learn something from him.
Oh, I bet.
So
just for kind of just background, do you mind me asking what his condition is or what's
Down syndrome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just for clarity there, and man, it's you know, I'm an outsider looking in, but man, I've met some people in my life. I've worked in restaurants, so I've met a lot of different people, and I've met people with Down syndrome, and I've never met one that's upset. They're just happy, smile. I mean,
Right.
and a lot of them's really smart. Like,
And I honestly say we have it easy compared to others. I mean, there's some other conditions with special needs children that are just, I mean, they're time consuming.
right.
But you still gotta. I just feel like that was the reason for the song. Just seeing it so much, seeing divorce, it's just it's heartbreaking watching
family,
it, and
everybody.
it's, you know, and it's just take the time to be a couple. I mean, you fell in love and you became friends before you had the child, and you got to keep it that way.
Good song,
You got to remember
brother.
that.
Yeah, so
That's a good song, bro.
That's where the song come from.
Marriage
Good
is
one.
hard enough, man, and then you got to keep reminding yourself that. So that's crazy. And since kind of down anyway, I want to take this opportunity right here. That's a great song, and kind of led the mood into this yesterday. Music is pretty powerful, like, and it's connecting. And even there's a lot of bad things about social media, but there's a lot of good things about social media. And I just want to share a story that happened to me yesterday. So I was on Facebook, and I've told all my family what I do with Facebook. I don't like the normal kind of Facebook. What I did is I unfollowed everybody. I took everybody on my feed, every individual, all my friends, I unfollowed them. I was tired of the bickering and the fighting and the stuff like that and getting me all riled up and getting in Facebook wars that you never win. Or it's like going to Vietnam or something. You know, it's a losing battle.
Oh, no.
So I unfollowed everybody. But so I only follow music pages, sports pages, politics, but it's actual news pages. But there was this kid, and I followed him. It was his personal account. And he played music up in New York, and he was super talented, absolutely just crazy talented. And I was obsessed with his voice and his guitar playing. His name was Scott Burrow, and
I seen that.
And
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, his mom reached out to me because I was messaging, trying to encourage him. I even said, man, if you live closer, you live in New York, if you live closer, you would be on Uhlen Branch Blues. You'd be a guest. You'd help me out. I'd have you on several times. You're going to go places. She messaged me yesterday and said, I know you were a fan, so I wanted to let you know that we lost Scott January 9th. He's a young guy. He's younger than me. You know, wow. He's in his – and so I know she's supporting Uhlen Branch Blues. She reached out to me. I'm super appreciative. She's going to listen to this episode. So Kathleen Weaver from Kentucky, I just want to let you know that our heart goes out to you. We're all crying for you. He was taken way too soon. I urge all my listeners to go to Scott Burrow. That's Scott, S-C-O-T-T, Burrow, B-U-R-O, or Kathleen Weaver. Go to their site, share his music, help him live on. He was taken way too soon. Either way, get on there, share it. You're going to find some videos that you will dig. I mean, he was a super talented musician, but I just wanted to put that out there because there's a family hurting. So
yeah,
prayers definitely.
Yeah, definitely sending prayers to New York. I mean,
wow.
That's another thing too. Is this guy was a Tyler Childers fan. He was like
why
us.
couldn't you be?
Yeah, right.
Why couldn't you be? If you're not a Tyler Childers fan, if you don't know who he is, check him out. I'm telling you.
Sure. I'm telling you. Yeah, who knows where this podcast is going to go? I still talk to people that don't know who he is. I mean, but Scott was a huge Tyler Childers fan. He lives in New York.
Yeah.
And this is what social media can be used for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
that's good.
I don't know these people, their family, or anything, but he connected to me lyrically with music.
Right.
So social media can be used for good. Like Rick, you're connecting people with venues and doing a lot of great things with it, getting their air out. Now you don't have to rely on mainstream. You got people like Rick here who's connecting everybody and getting the local music out there, and that's what I would like to see it used more for.
Yeah.
So I encourage everybody, if somebody's pissing you off on Facebook or something, unfollow them. They'll
follow
never
some good
piss
stuff.
you off again. Huh?
Yeah, follow some good stuff, right?
Follow some good stuff.
right.
Some
Yeah,
good
follow
people.
something good. Yeah,
Follow positivity. Because, I mean, there's enough negativity.
That's right. I agree.
You know how to make the world better? Unplug. I mean, honestly. I mean, you'll think the world is so bad, and then all of a sudden you unplug, get away from the internet a little bit, and all of a sudden the world gets better.
Yeah.
It's just that easy. Just unplug for a little bit. But
that's why back in the day, if you didn't have internet, you never found out things so quickly. You know, something may have happened. You may not find out about it for 2 or 3 weeks. You know, unless you run into a person or they call you on the phone. You know,
you know too, and the music. I know me growing up, we'd be out. I lived up in Old Holler, and Boone Roberts and all his brothers, man, they all played music. Well, we'd be out in the yard, we could hear them up there playing. Dad'd say, load up in the car, we'd go up there and listen to them. I mean, people just don't do that nowadays, do they?
No, they don't.
They don't
do
visit.
that. They don't have time.
Yeah, that's it right there.
But I'm not sure what changed where you don't have time.
Yeah. Well, working them 12-hour shifts.
Well, working 16-hour shifts.
Exactly.
I ain't doing that no more. Right?
That's me. We're out of that.
I have no
we'll
desire to do
We'll come visit.
Yeah, I have no desire to do that no more.
No.
I've done that for too long.
was you with me, Steve? Somebody on this podcast was talking about how they can't get anybody to come out to the shows, but they'll have all these viewers. It might have been Creek Don't Rise, or like it might have been Marcus or somebody saying that they can't get anybody to come out to the shows, but they'll have thousands of viewers on their Facebook page.
Yeah, I've seen them go live on their shows, and they may not be anybody there at the venue, but there's hundreds and hundreds of people watching.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Well,
why wouldn't you go watch it live? I don't know.
Well, I tell you what, a lot of it, I feel personally, is there's so much talent around here. I really believe that well, we're going to go up here and pay to go see somebody play. Well, why do that? Let's go over in so and so's garage. I mean, let's
they're having practice tonight,
and
so
they're
let's
and
go
they're
down
just
there
and
and
they're
listen.
just. I'm telling you, buddy.
Yeah, we can bring our own cooler and we can just go right down there and listen. You know?
I really believe
that
there's a lot
happens
of it.
Yes,
yeah,
it does.
because I don't care. I mean, I know you have. I've been to some garage jams that, my gosh, been phenomenal.
Oh, absolutely.
Listen, great music.
So you're connected to Listen Locally, which is across the state. Do you talk to them much about, like, is there this much talent everywhere, or is it's got to be kind of special? I don't know. There's so much talent here.
Well, it seems like to me that the further you get away from this area, the less and less it is.
The thinner it gets.
Yeah, I've played up in Ohio, and I've played even going. There's talent in all across the state, but it seems like as you go further away, it less and less. Because I lived in Colorado for about 3 years, and so like around here, like what you're saying, there's so many people that play. You pull out a guitar or an instrument, and somebody's rolling their eyes, going, "Oh Lord, Junior's getting ready to play that guitar." You know, oh God.
Here we go.
Here we go. Well, now when I took my guitar out to Colorado, it's like, "Oh man, you play music? Can we hear?" So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a different mentality.
Yeah.
Because they ain't anybody
around
there.
here, it's like, here, give me that. Here's how you play that.
Yeah, here, you got that chord wrong. You know?
Exactly.
You got to learn something. You got to know how to play something. Yeah.
So I do feel that's a lot of it. You know, people, they can just go to their neighbors, or if they'll get out, like we were saying, get out and go.
Yeah,
visit
and two, you see original music. You will see, like around here, not only seeing people not want to hear music, and I honestly think it's got a lot to do with the Bible Belt area about being so bashful about music or not wanting to hear it, thinking it's an evil thing or thinking it's.
That could definitely still be live and well. That kind of mentality.
And I see it because they had an open mic at Fat Patty's in Huntington a long time ago. This is before I ever started doing open mic. And when they built the Fat Patties in Ashland, they wanted to do it on another night in Ashland. Well, it was got very good response in Huntington, West Virginia. But bring it down to Ashland, Kentucky, and people were running out of Fat Patties. They just about went through the windows, getting away from people bringing guitars in. Yeah. So you see the mentality. And then if you mention that, here, I wrote this song, people's going to roll their eyes again and go, oh, gosh.
Yeah, they just want to hear covers and stuff.
Yeah, and they want to hear a song. Around here, it's funny because you go outside of here, like I've went up and played in Ohio. They want to hear, have you wrote something? I want to hear what you've wrote. Where around here, they want to hear a song that they could hear 1 million times on the radio.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And and I'm not sure why it's that way.
No. It's when we started. Of course, we're sitting here, we're recording from the pump house like usual. When we started this pump house, of course, we were probably the cover kind of people too. I would say there was a lot of that, and but then we started hearing these musicians coming out, and we're just trying to get what we could pay for, or guys to donate their time or whatever, and then all of a sudden they just start blowing our faces away, and now we're song farmers. We'd rather find those local guys that are singing about the area, your Rick Potters, your Steve Perrys, your there's a guy named what was his name? Tyler Waller. I think he was one of the first out here. I think his last name was Waller.
Tyler Waller from overnight. Yeah.
He was the first one ever to play out here.
I think he's actually Cogrove. He's a high school teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's getting ready to play next month over at the End Zone overnight.
Okay, well, I'll have to go check that out. They got
All right.
Yeah.
mushrooms and some Tyler Waller.
Yeah,
stuff,
I will.
man.
I will have his promo on live music in the tri-state.
right.
Let you know when he's playing.
This
Be on
guy knows
Thursday.
that.
So it's
Rick
right there.
knows
That
everything,
is
don't he?
going to
Yeah.
be so helpful. I'm telling you.
Dude,
We really needed that.
I got caught just scrolling through his page there, man. Steve, you got to check it out there. But man, once I started this podcast, just to kind of get to know everybody and get another avenue, get everybody out, and that's John Cox and Brock Thompson, and there's all these singer songwriters coming out, and of course I'm not listening hardly any of them, but I love them all, and their original music I'm just obsessed with. Even the big guys, Tyler Childers and Nick Jamerson, the guys that have hit big.
Yes.
I still take me to the songs where they're taking me to Hyndman or we're going to Wheelwright or Charleston or somewhere
Virgie.
home. Virgie.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, when they're singing about home,
You can relate.
yeah, you don't hear that I didn't hear that on the Grammys.
No. They didn't even play that part. Because I know Tyler was up for a Grammy.
Willie won it.
Yeah, Willie ended up winning it, and I know there was some people griping and complaining and kind of bashing, and Alexis Faye, who's a huge supporter of music. She's part of the Honky Tonk Heroes. That's another Facebook page if you want to hear good music or hear things that's going on. Honky Tonk Heroes is another Facebook page, but she was like, we don't allow no name calling and bashing and on here, and I wrote a response. My response is, I'm still proud of Tyler for being nominated.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
But hats off to Willie because him and Waylon and one of those. If you'd watched that show about country music that was on public television,
I didn't get to see it.
Great documentary about country music, and watching how Waylon and Willie pulled themselves away from that Nashville sound, that control that Nashville had, and just pioneered their own style of music, their own kind of following, and their own kind of thing to bring us. Now we look at it, and some of the people that come through Nashville, they're just like, yeah, I've heard of them. But Waylon and Willie, that's the stuff that stuck. And it wasn't controlled by this big corporations and stuff.
In my opinion, they're on different ends of it, right? We don't know how much longer we're going to have, the opportunity for Willie to be putting out new stuff. So give him everything he can get.
Absolutely. That's the way I feel about it.
Childers is as important to country music as anybody right now. His voice is Appalachian. It's important into country music. He's cutting his teeth, got his first Grammy nomination. He's going to be there again and again and again and again and again.
And again.
Give Willie what he can get while he's
right.
here.
I agree.
He's earned
I
it.
agree.
He's earned it. And just be proud for what's going on. Don't get on there trolling sites.
No, without Willie and Waylon and those guys that pioneered that separation,
Tyler wouldn't even be.
There wouldn't be
Tyler.
any interest in the music that Tyler and John Prine and all
That's
these
right.
other people
another one, Prine,
that had this music. And my ending statement was, there ain't no worry, guys. Music's in good hands with Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
Well, speaking of music,
Let's hear something else.
what you got? You got another one for us?
Yeah, I got one that I wrote, and it's like being from this area. It's a song called Appalachian Hell, and it just kind of seems like that the people from this area were kind of misunderstood. We're kind of looked at as
and
not
still
being,
are.
Yes, we're completely misunderstood. We're kind of looked at as maybe uneducated as compared to other places in the nation, and just lazy maybe. But honestly, I think we're some of the smartest, hardworking people. We're very family oriented, and we've always fought for what we've always felt was right. And I just think for years we've been taken advantage of because we have so much here. There's so much resources, coal and timber and you know,
You got a
we got
river,
workers
you got
that
infrastructure.
will work.
You
Yes.
got all kinds of stuff.
We got rivers come all up through Appalachia and railroad and we got the workers that ain't afraid to go down in the ground. We got the workers that ain't afraid to get up next to 3,000 degree steel, you know.
That's right.
And but I think it just seems like they come in and they take what they want, and then when they get to a point they leave. And I kind of feel that's what's happened to us with AK going down. They've got what they needed and now they're gone.
Right.
And that's kind of where this song comes from. Even though that's maybe what is, we're still proud of where we came from.
Oh yeah.
So it's called Appalachian Hell. Over 200 years ago, the devil came creeping in. The seal sacrificed a soul for hell to never end. He ripped the heart out of our mountains, robbed the lumber from our lands, left us with almost nothing, gave all the money to the man. Some got out, no one wants in. They'll have to kill us all before we sell, but we'll never give up this battle for Appalachian hell. No, we'll never give up this battle for Appalachian hell. There ain't enough work in these hills to keep the wolf off of our doors. They'll starve us out, feed us pills, anything to keep us poor. But we ain't gonna change who we are. We're living's all we've known. We'll fight for every inch of this land, 'cause these mountains are our home. Some got out, no one wants in. They'll have to kill us all before we sell, but we'll never give up this battle for Appalachian hell. No, we'll never give up this battle for Appalachian hell.
Nice. You're speaking right to our souls there, brother.
Man, that's
good
fi-
stuff.
I like how you say Appalachian hell, and we're fighting for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
That's right.
Ain't never gonna quit fighting for Appalachian hell.
you know, it's you know, the people that move very few that move in this area, but when they move, they have this interpretation that we are all, you know, these people's going to be, man, I'll be able to snowball them every one because every one of them's just not very educated. They're not as educated as me, so I can get one up on them, and then they come here and they find out that's just not the case.
Yeah, your thinking's broke.
You know, there's something, though, about this area. I went to grade school. Well, he moved in our 7th grade, this good friend of mine, him and his family. His dad worked for Irby Construction, where they lived all over the place. I mean, he lived down in Georgia, Florida, Montana. But when his dad retired, he bought a little place over on Beachy Creek in Greenup County. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what he said. He said, I've lived all over the place. But he said, and then he said, it just ain't the country, it's the people. that's what he said. He said they just make you feel like family, and stuff. And they moved back up here.
I think Jamerson had a quote, and I love it. I'm gonna butcher it, but he said he moved away from Eastern Kentucky and he put it in every song he sung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's got another one going back to Pikeville again.
Yeah.
So it's
there's something about it.
You're talking about Rick. You're talking about fighting like hell for fighting for Appalachian hell, and I mean, you're fighting for it. It's a way of life that you're fighting for.
Well, it's like others may think that man, there ain't nothing there, but to us, it's everything. It's home.
We'll do a little Kentucky Pride little section right here. So Kentucky Pride. Well, what all we got coming from Kentucky? Cloning. They let it in cloning. Like there was a big medical part of it in Louisville, and then you had, Abraham Lincoln did.
Whoa! You're getting way ahead of us.
Yeah,
he just told you
people
that.
don't know that. People don't know
you're
that
right
kind of
though.
stuff.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of medical stuff coming out of there.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln. He's associated with Kentucky. You had George Clooney. You had wasn't Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Focus from it. I mean, and then now even today, let's bring it to today. I mean, we are a very, very pivotal part of this country when it comes to politics. Whether you love him or hate him, who's Mitch McConnell from?
Yeah.
I mean, and he's all over this nation right now. Where's he from?
Yeah.
He's from Kentucky.
Yeah.
From
So,
Kentucky.
and Rand Paul, I mean, you just keep going on and on. And Kentucky has influenced this place. Russell was one of the largest rail yards in the nation or whatever forever. Amanda, she spit out some record-breaking steel.
Oh,
right
absolutely.
Right there at AK Steel.
Yeah, we had world record steel produced,
Absolutely. You got guys single-handedly saving country music here in Kentucky. You've got Sturgill Simpson, Chris Stapleton. Now Tyler Childers, he's coming on strong. Can't stop him. Nick Jamerson. I mean, those guys got real big on the Billboard charts. Kyle Fields, he's coming.
He's
right?
coming
he's
on,
coming
buddy.
hard.
He's coming. He'll be up here. He'll be up here.
That's right. He will.
Now, I don't know if you've heard the song that young man that I took him down to Lexington with one of the Listen Locally. Cole Chaney just wrote a song and put it on Facebook, and man, it's a dandy. It is a dandy.
Say it again. Cole Chaney.
Cole Chaney.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it is a dandy, and it talks about AK shutting down, and his mom works for Bellefonte Hospital. That's getting ready to talking about shutting down, and how the area is just. I mean, it's a real good song.
They stripped it and they left, right?
Yeah, so, stripped it and got what they needed and got out.
And maybe not every area is hurting, right? I mean, I think Lexington was one of the top 10 cities, and it might be higher than that. Lexington, a year ago I was reading, it was one of the top. It was during the recession of like 2007, I think it was. Where it was really hurting bad. 2007, 8. Lexington was one of the top 10, might have been top 5 cities to ride the recession out because they were built on their economy's built on education and medical. There's so many hospitals and so many schools there. Yes. So Lexington was actually
bourbon.
It ain't
and
everywhere.
Bourbon, all the good bourbon right around
bourbon,
Lexington. You got the bourbon trail. So.
You had the bourbon trail, but so not every town is crushing in Kentucky, but Eastern Kentucky has felt the brunt, just like West Virginia and this whole area has just really felt the hurt.
And I still think if you want, even we mentioned bourbon, you're not going to get bourbon anywhere else but Kentucky.
Not limestone.
And it's just the way it is. But I still think we, back in these hollers, we got guys that still make the best moonshine you could ever take a sip of.
Right.
I'm telling you.
I think Nate, he had that Kentucky Hills. Oh man, it's Kentucky Hills by Nate, man. Oh, dude. And I've got to the point I don't even listen to mainstream. You guys are writing, Rick, Steve, you guys are writing stuff. It's just, I'm just listening to that all the time anymore. I mean, I think my father-in-law even brought it up one time. He's like, what we haven't done in a while? We haven't had like a Wayland night or a Merle night or just something because we're too consumed with just looking up the local guys.
Yeah.
Like, forget all that other stuff. We're obsessed with the local guys and hearing the local songs and all that stuff.
But I think what they did and the music that they play, it even even the stuff back in, with Hank Williams, you got people going back and grabbing those songs and wanting to make remakes of it, or getting an inspiration from something that they wrote and writing something. And
right.
it's you got some of these, like some of these ones. I don't know, maybe Bruno Mars or something. I don't know. Maybe 30 years from now, one of these people, you're not going to hear a remake of one of his songs. You're going to hear a remake of Hank Williams or Waylon or Merle.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to hear.
Generational, yeah.
I seen a clip on Kelly Clarkson's show, had Garth Brooks on there, and Garth had, she was asking like, what kind of covers did you do starting out? My gosh, he done everything from Neil Young to, bluegrass and stuff. But he was he said, and James Taylor, and there was a little James Taylor lick that he does off of the D.
Yeah.
And he said, and I've stole that in so many of my own songs. For example, when he done one of his songs, and he said, and right there's that D, that James Taylor D, that lick, he stole it. Even him, just.
But
Garth
he's
Brooks.
He's a songwriter, and it's, it's my wife's a huge fan of Queen, and that's something back, and that's 80s
back
music.
in the day. Oh, yeah.
But there was some kind of meme that was on Facebook that they were talking about. This Beyonce song had 27 people write it, and it says this verse over like 50 times, and goes on, and these, how many people it took to write this song and that song, and these along those lines, and it was like, and Freddie Mercury wrote Bohemian Rhapsody by himself.
Boom.
And I mean, if you sit and listen to how complicated that song was, and it's like, okay, so it's the songwriters that are really hold, that get you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's once they get you, and that's that guy that I'd mentioned earlier. He passed away January 9th. Scott. I mean, that his songwriting ability just grabbed me. It just grabbed me, and he became like I was just listening to his music. Like every day, it's just kind of went into my playlist at work because I sit there at the computer and I just kind of listen to it. And he grabbed me and just wouldn't let go. And he lives in New York.
Right.
I mean,
there's a little hillbilly in everywhere. Everywhere. There's a little hillbilly everywhere.
Yeah, country's everywhere.
Right.
Well, I mean, the older I get, and I'm starting where I didn't start writing songs till I got older. It just felt like I never had the time. And then when I sat down, I was starting to write songs. I was always listen to music that they were incredible musicians and incredible songwriters. So I grew up hearing Waylon and Willie and Merle and then I would branch over to hearing Crosby, Stills and Nash and Neil Young and then as I get later on in life, I finally got to hear Tyler. And Tyler Childers, and the first time I heard a couple of his songs, he just mesmerized me. It's like, this guy's songwriting is unbelievable, how he can phrase a song and put it together. It's like Jason Isbell. I think he's another.
I do too. I love
he's
his
an incredible songwriter. The things he can do, and so. I wasn't necessarily a big Sunday Best fan, but now since Nick has went off on himself and Nick's doing his own thing and what he wants to do, Nick Jamerson is his songwriter. Man, he's good.
Well, let me ask
really
you.
Really good.
What is your approach? Do you have the same approach when you go to write a song? I mean, do you like to get the words, or you get a riff and then put words to it? What's
everybody says that I talk to that write or usually write the music, or they get a riff, or they get some kind of thing, and they say, well, once you got that, it's so much easier to
put the
words to it. And my biggest problem is I'll come up with the words, and then I got to figure out what kind of music goes with it. And that usually seems what happens to me.
Is it? Yeah. Okay.
And a lot of times I ain't got my guitar. And these words start coming in my head, so I'm grabbing my phone and I'm writing down they may not make any sense or any rhyme or reason, but I'm writing everything going through my head.
Yeah.
And then later on, I'll because that song Appalachian Hell, its first interpretation in my mind was the thought that the battles and, where there's so much land to cover around in these Appalachian Mountains, and, we've had a lot of war battles and Civil War. And
Oh, yeah.
How many bodies are buried in these hills that we don't know about?
Oh, God.
So my think was to write a song going in that,
Direction.
where there's so many, unclaimed bodies or people that's been buried there, been murdered, and that's where this Appalachian
bones,
Hell.
yeah.
So I had all this stuff wrote down, and so when I write it on my phone, and when I'm ready to get serious about it, I'll print it out off my phone, and then I'll start pen and paper. And then I'll start marking things out and moving this here and doing everything there. So I'll pen and paper it. I'll go old school on it whenever I do.
Do you have the music then, or
Well,
have you,
Appalachian Hell, I actually had the
yeah.
I actually had that.
Yeah.
And I said, I had the name. I said, I'm gonna write a song that's
Oh, and
gonna
that
be
just
called
fit that.
Appalachian.
That just fit that.
Oh, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
and my like I said, my mind think was going on it, and when I went to go finish it, I just said, no, that's not us. I just feel like we as a people over the years have been taken advantage of, and we're still being taken advantage of. Yeah. And so I just wadded the paper up, erased the note off my phone, and started all over. And I'm telling you, within 20 minutes, I had the song down.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Once
absolutely.
You
When
felt like you found the lane for that song.
Yeah,
But do you feel like all those notes and all that collaboration, it all played into part of it?
Yeah. It just seemed like it, because that one I had the notes, I had the music, so it did go.
Yeah.
It did go really
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
So, but most of the time, and some things are personal to me that I feel, like the first song that I did.
Yeah.
It's real personal to me.
Yeah.
And some things have no rhyme or reason why. I wrote a song called Weathered Old Cowboys. And I'm not a cowboy. I don't own a horse.
Don't claim to be.
Don't claim to be. A four-wheeler ain't a horse,
Yeah.
I've rode many a four-wheeler, rode many dirt bikes, but I ain't never rode a horse. So,
but that's the thing. That's the beauty about music, though, too. It can take you anywhere.
Yeah.
You can be anything. You can take you anywhere.
yeah.
Any genre. You don't have to be country. You don't. I mean, that's
that's
what
right.
I like about being a songwriter.
Right.
I can write anything I want to write in
No
any
matter
kind
what,
of music.
Yeah, mine come to me. All the
gonna
words
lead
come to me while I was frying bacon in my underwear.
Boom. There you go.
I was frying bacon in my underwear.
I've
And I
always
said, I'm
heard
going to
don't
write a
fry-
song about weathered old cowboys.
I've always heard
'cause
don't fry bacon naked.
They never die. You
Well,
watch
I'm
these
always
movies.
wanting to write a song. I'm going to strip down and get out the bacon tonight and see if I get some
That's a
inspiration.
good song.
Get some inspiration.
Don't fry bacon naked.
Yeah, don't.
Little naked bacon fryer or whatever. That's pretty good. Give us another one here. We'll lead right into another one.
All right. Seems like they're all slow, but here, I'll do this one. And this one come from doing my open mics, and people come out and they brag about all these places that they played, and
I'm sure they all mentioned the Pump House. They're all
They're going
bragging about
The
it.
Grand Old Pump
The
House.
Grand Old Pump House.
well, they all brag about playing here and playing there, and I just look at them, Well, I played here, I played in Nashville, and I played at this place, and in Lexington, and I played at this place down, and I've been to. I'm like, dude, you're in Boyd County, Kentucky. I mean, I'm not really being mean, but you're in Boyd County, Kentucky. It's not going to be anything to put on your resume, So just play.
So this is where this song comes from.
That's where this song comes from.
I'm already liking it.
It's kind of like
I'm
going.
loving it, dude.
It's kind of like going to Nashville, and you figure out it ain't gonna help me. So this song's called "Coming Home." Heading down on the highway, trying to get out of here. dream in my way. My head is finally clear. Got some money in my pocket. Got my guitar out upon. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. I'm already gone. It's just another song I'm singing on the road. It helps me along back to where I belong. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Life ain't that easy down on Music Road. Half-lit smoke-filled barrooms, singing songs that I wrote. It's hard to make a living selling souls for free. Slow dance with the devil ain't the man I wanna be. It's just another song that I'm singing on the road. It helps me along back to where I belong. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. You always told me I was a dreamer. Mr. Boy with songs in my head. But I believe this guitar will save me. Someday you'd all see me as a star. But it's just another song that I'm singing on the road. It helps me along back to where I belong. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Well, I'm coming home.
That's
Sweet.
a great one. That's a
Thank
great
you.
song. There.
That's a good one, brother.
So you're singing about a song, and you're singing about being on the road there, and you're just singing those songs that helps you get through. Man, I like that.
I do too.
It's all about what you learn out there on the road. And
Yeah.
what's, it's like I said, people come in, they brag about where they played, and where they've done. I'm like, like I said, dude, you're in Boyd County.
Yeah. I mean, even if you're Tyler Childers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're all from around here. You know what I'm saying? We're all from this
living
area.
the same. We're
And
all
man,
watching
I hope
sunrise.
you write one that somebody does and makes you $1 million.
Yeah,
I'm just tickled, for everybody.
I'm not really trying to look to write a song to do something with it. I'm too old, and I'm too old.
Never too old.
I'm too old and fat, and there ain't nobody, If I can just play
This
something
ain't this ain't video. This is radio. You
That's
can
well,
do
that's
anything
true.
you
Man.
want.
That's right.
I'm the most handsome thing you've ever seen.
You get
I'm
it,
just telling
and you get it to those guys. See,
They
that's
can't
the thing.
swipe
It's
left
on.
on you on this podcast.
Exactly.
They can't swipe left.
you. Yeah, that's, yeah, this is all audio. That's now you make sure that you
So
have
you're
a
6'4" and dark. And
yeah,
slender.
absolutely. I got a 6-pack right
Yeah.
in front of me that I'm drinking.
So, do you have any idea how many songs you have wrote?
Probably somewhere over 40, maybe close to 50.
Yeah, man, that's a bunch.
And I probably got that many or more in the works. I just
hard
haven't
to sit down and finish.
Yeah, I just haven't sat down and. what aggravates me is I'll get one that I think's really good, and I'll get started and get halfway through, and then all of a sudden one will come to me. You know, just like the very first song that I wrote. Man, I wrote that one in probably 15, 20 minutes. I wrote that song.
Just came on.
We've talked about that a lot of times. The best ones seems like they
Yeah,
just
they just
quick.
come on.
They just
Oh,
roll
yeah.
in. Yeah, like they're godsend or something, ain't it? Sometimes, man.
The ones that seems like I've had to take a long time on, you know, in my mind, I'm still trying to play them and get the feel of them, and I kind of think that, you know, this song kind of really sucks. I really probably need to put that over. And it takes me a while to get it to where, okay, if I do this or do that, it kind of do a little bit better.
Yeah.
You still got to do some tweaking, and then some of them is just like, yeah, there's really no need for a tweak on that one.
Are you the type of writer? Can you like if I give you a subject, could you like, hey, can you write me one on Uhlen Branch, or can you write me a song about? I read somewhere where Bruce Springsteen, I think he's a great songwriter. He the Streets of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I heard they had the movie almost done. They sent him the movie didn't have any music. He watched the movie and wrote the song Streets of Philadelphia. I can't do that kind
Anything
of writing.
inspire you like that? You can just
Yeah, absolutely. Some people say it's kind of tough. A friend of mine who writes music too, and he's been here. We've played a show here at the Pump House. Justin Pruitt.
Yeah.
He. We wrote a song together called "The Man That You Don't See," and it was personal to him, you know, because it kind of felt like, and he had this song in his head, and he knew what he wanted to write, but it was just so personal to him. He couldn't. It's almost like writing a song for your wife or your loved one. That's the hardest thing in the planet to write.
Yeah.
Because you're so critical of what you're wanting to say.
Yeah.
And I think it's really hard to do.
Right.
And some people spit it out really easy, but I feel like it's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
And for him, it was personal. So this idea was like a complication between the two of us, and I think I ended up writing most of it.
Right.
Because it wasn't personal to me.
You
And he
could reflect
finished
from
it
the back
off
a little bit. Yeah.
After he had,
Yeah.
you know, and I seen him, and we've wrote, how many songs have we wrote together? 3 or 4 or 5, something like that.
Well, that's another thing I was going to ask you. I mean, have you co-wrote with people quite a bit, or just maybe just him?
Just Justin.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I wrote another song with the guy that was playing steel guitar in a band. He had put together a 8-track tape, and it may have been the Eagles or somebody, but he put another picture on it and made up these kind of false songs and had a picture of him, you know, and he made up his own name, you know. It was like Les Worley's greatest hits, you know, and it was just a gag thing to set up, you know.
Yeah, I got
and one of the songs on there was when she renewed her vows, she left out you.
Oh, dear.
And so I ended up writing that song. There was not a
Right.
song to it; it was a song title.
Right,
but
but
I
you
ended
wrote
up
the
writing a
song to it.
song,
That's good.
and we've played it out a couple times. And
That's
he wrote an intro playing the steel guitar, and he said, "Man, I got this intro for that song. If you write it, you know." And I ended up writing it.
That's crazy.
So
That is.
I've done things like that.
Yeah.
And but you know, I feel like you got to write a song with somebody that's kind of on your same wavelength.
Yes.
If you got-
yeah.
you know,
You can't
'cause-
just co-write with people, everybody, I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's, you know, because then when you start writing songs and you write some that kind of might be okay, then you got people that might want to write a song with you, or you're writing a song and they want to help you, you know, because they're wanting to co-write.
Yeah.
But
They
if
want
they're not on your
influence on
same
it, yeah.
wavelength, then
Yeah,
the
it ain't
song, they're
Going
me.
different directions.
If somebody's wanting to write a song, I want to know what brought the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
inspired
made
it,
you?
what
Yeah, what
inspired
made
it
you
to
start thinking
yeah.
about writing this one?
Yeah.
Because I want to know what they're thinking,
Yeah.
so I can at least
Exactly.
try to.
Get on the same page.
Get on the same
Yeah.
page.
In the same book, anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to be on a separate universe. You know?
Exactly.
Because I wrote one song about. I wrote, you know, watching, being out and playing music. You see a lot of single people, and you know, I wrote a few songs about that.
Yeah.
And one song called "Heartbroken Angel," and I wrote another song called "Hey Lorene," and it's about and I just used Lorene because it was the name fit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like
There you
that's
go.
how
Yeah,
Melissa was,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about a girls and women and whatever that's been hurt so many times, they just don't want to put themselves out there.
Yeah.
And so that was my kind of thing of thinking she'd met a new guy, and he really sensed that she'd been really hurt. So he was really taking a lot of precautions trying to get to know her, and the other person that wanted to write the song with me wanted to start, doing this part where he was yelling at her. And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to write a song about, a person that's been hurt,
Exactly.
And you're wanting to scream at her.
Exactly.
Right. No.
We're
we're
different.
We're in opposite
Right.
ends on that. So no, So I really think you got to get with somebody that
Yeah, you're on the same.
gets you.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're right.
Yeah, just imagine.
So tell us, where you going to be playing at? You going to be out playing?
Well, I
Plug
do,
away. Let's hear it. Where can we find you? Where can we?
Yeah.
well, I just put up an Instagram. I just started an Instagram, and I'm really not very good at it. I have no idea.
Well,
what
you're
Instagram.
over my head. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
and I'm still over my
Dylan's
head.
over like, now they're
because-
finally getting on
Because
board.
Instagram will, you can put a whole song on there, or you can put like a 1 minute version of a song. So it allows me to put like a intro to a song that I'm working on, and I'm so new to it. I go and put my song on there, and I say it's original and everything, and they block me and ban me for like 2 or 3 days. I can't like anybody's stuff. I can't do anything, and I'm like,
Get in jail, Instagram jail.
Yeah,
That's
I'm like, what am I doing
they
wrong
call
here?
that.
I don't even know what I'm doing wrong.
What's your profile pic? You in your underwear frying bacon? Is
No,
that
I'm
your
not in my
profile
underwear
pic?
frying bacon. You don't want to see that. But I can't even. Yeah, I think what the picture that I got is my profile pic is a picture from playing down Twisted Cork down in Lexington.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So I know I'm going to be playing there in March
Okay.
at a songwriters round that they have down there for a big fundraiser that they do at Twisted Cork. So
Awesome.
I'm going to be playing down there. And I'm taking Cole Chaney down there with me.
Oh, okay.
I invited him to go down because he went down and he played some of his original stuff, and they really liked him. So, so he's going to be
We gotta have
available.
him on here.
Yeah.
And you need to get Cole on.
Yeah, set
He's
that up. We'll have him on here for sure.
a great guy.
What I would the inspiration for this whole podcast, I'd like it to eventually turn into almost like a radio station, like we're hearing all local guys, like all the time, just local songs. Because you said you had like 40, 50 songs that you
Yeah.
wrote. What happens to most of them? Where are most of them sitting?
Yeah,
Are they
they're
in the
just-
trunk?
They're sitting on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You
not
know?
everybody knows to go look for you, so
Right.
I would like to kind of bring it together and just mix it up.
This is my problem, I guess, is I tend to try to help other people more than I help myself.
Yeah.
And I'm just interested in writing songs. And if somebody likes one, because I've told people, because I've had a couple people like the song Appalachian Hell, and I'm like,
Yeah.
do it, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to hear your
I'm the
spin
same
on
way.
it.
I'm the same way.
And they're like, hey,
Yeah.
no, that's your song. I
know.
don't want to, I'm like, I don't care. I really don't.
Now, you two are singer-songwriters, musicians. Is that flattering for somebody to cover your song, or
Oh,
or
yeah,
how
for
do
me,
you,
I would
mean,
love
is it-
I would love somebody to do one of my songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you got several songs, Rick, that Steve, that I listen to all the time, and I think people could cover it easy. And now, Rick, I haven't heard a whole lot of your stuff. I'm hearing a lot of it now. And then I've seen you live out here, and you played a lot of.
Well, I've wrote a
originals.
lot of songs between that time and now.
Really?
Yeah, so
Out here at the pump house.
Yeah.
Rick. Yeah.
Grand Old Pump
Grand
House.
Old Pump House,
probably
yeah.
then I could have did maybe about 45 minutes of original.
Yeah.
I could do a whole set by myself of originals now.
guarantee.
So
That's awesome.
And Steve, you should have been there for that one. It was Justin and Rick out here.
wow.
Oh, man,
yeah,
it
we
was
had a
great.
good time.
Yeah.
And
Justin agreed. He's going to be on an
Justin
episode, so.
Pruitt is an incredible songwriter. I mean, he's young enough to be my son, so when I played in the band with them, they sometimes called me Uncle Rick,
And he's really involved in the local music scene.
Yeah,
I'll
yes,
let
he
him.
is.
He's going to have his own episode of Uhlen Branch Blues, so I'm going to let him talk to all that.
Yeah.
But, he's doing a lot of good things too for the whole area.
Yes,
It's like
he
a
is.
mini Nashville anymore.
Yeah.
Well, Rick, I want to pull one more out of you. Let's do one more song, and then we'll try and land this plane. What do you think?
all right. I'm going to do one that a little bit different than, I feel it's kind of a little bit different than some of the stuff I normally do. The one I wrote for my sister's a recovering drug addict, and she's about 7 years sober now.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
And when my mom passed away, she come in. She lives out in Seattle, Washington, with her daughter, and she talked to me about living on the street, being homeless, being a drug addict, and watching people walk by like you don't even exist. And it's probably a lot of similarities with people that, because she lived in a big city, and and being homeless, and we see a lot of this on TV, but I've never experienced that, so I don't know. So I just wrote this song, trying to go from her eyes, but not being so personal,
Right.
with her, but trying to, and that's where this song called, and the song's called "The Train Rolls On." Don't come knocking at my door. I don't need you in my life anymore. You took a piece of me I can never get back. You reeled my life so hard I can't find the tracks. Train rolls on, rolling down the rail. Train rolls on, won't stop you from your hell. The train rolls on, the train rolls on. One puff of smoke and your eyes go black. Forget all about your life, there's no turning back. The venom seeps deep inside your veins. The train just rolls on by, never knowing your name. The train rolls on, rolling down the rail. Train rolls on, won't stop you from your hell. The train rolls on. If I fall down, I don't think I'll make it up again. I've lost the last hand that will reach out to me as my friend. The train will pass you by, leaving you to die alone. And that old whistle blows as the last train rolls on. Rolling down the rail, train rolls on, won't stop you from your hell. The train rolls on, the train rolls on. Don't come knocking at my door. I don't need you in my life anymore.
Awesome. Yeah, that's perfect.
That
Train
is,
rolls
buddy.
on. Like
That is.
Yeah, it's,
That's
I
life.
try to
Exactly.
keep it
You
not.
can't stop a train.
Nope.
No.
You ain't gonna stop it if you want to stay. Unless it wants to stop, you ain't gonna stop it. And life don't want to stop.
That's
It's
right.
gonna roll on,
Exactly.
with or without you.
That's exactly
That's perfect.
So
That's
she
awesome.
she finally got herself out of that, and she's sober. She gets to see her grandkids now.
That's
and,
good.
And I always play.
That's a success story there.
I always play the Recovery Fest too.
Yeah.
In honor of her.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's very personal to me to play that.
I hate to say it, but I mean, every family has been affected with
I
that
don't-
stuff. Everybody you talk to.
There ain't
every
very,
family.
there's a speck of light around here of families that haven't been
Yes.
affected
Yeah.
by it.
Yeah. That's-
You'd be hard pressed to find one.
Oh, I know.
So I
Absolutely.
mean that song, buddy. Anybody can relate. Anybody can relate to
Absolutely.
that.
Steve, tell us about our upcoming show here at the Pump House.
Well, now we got Kyle Fields that's
right.
going to do his release party here. Now, is that the 7th or 8th?
That is the 7th. Yep.
That's a Friday.
February 7th on
February
Friday?
7th on Friday at 8 o'clock. It is when it starts.
It'll be
I'm supposed
live
to open-
music in the tri-state. It'll be there.
Yeah.
It'll be there.
All right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I will
I'm going to open
put
up.
a promo on there.
Okay, I'm opening up.
We're
I'm
making
going to do like
connections.
a 40-minute set or something for him before he comes on, which I guess that'll be at 8. Then he'll play.
I ain't never watched you play live. I mean, I'll watch you play here at the Pump House, but I'll be excited to see that.
Oh,
I'm always excited to see
I do
Kyle
the
Fields.
Pete Townsend jumps. I mean, I do it all.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have a good time.
Just don't spin the guitar
I
over
wanna
top
put
of
him
your
on-
shoulder and hit yourself in the crotch or anything.
Exactly
Don't do
right.
that.
Yeah, we won't do that.
I want to. Your
Pull something.
opening,
Pull
we might want to
something.
put you on a closing to run people out of here.
Well, that
No,
could
just
be. That
playing.
could be. That happens. That's happened before.
No, that's great. So February 7th.
Yeah.
I think it goes on. I think it starts at 8. Get down here at the Pump House.
Doors
Camp-
open at 7. I think he said.
Okay, doors open at 7. Come on down. The light will be on up there at the top of the. If you can't find it, keep trying. You'll eventually
Call
get there.
somebody.
We like it hard to find out here. That's for sure. Work real quick again, Rick. Where can we find you?
You can find me, Rick Potter Music, on Instagram. And I also have the Listen Locally. I got a Ashland's Listen Locally page, music page. And I also do the Callahan's Acoustic Jam Session page. And then I got my own band page that usually I'll put a lot of songs that I write, which is the Westwood Troubadours. I'll put stuff on there.
Okay. Super appreciate you and what you're doing for local artists around here.
yeah.
Like you said, you like to do more for others than you do for yourself, and you prove it time and time again with all your pages and stuff.
Check
him out.
With the live music in the tri-state, like I said, that's all for other venues and other people playing music. And sadly to say, some people make terrible promos for themselves. And some venues don't even make a promo or promote anything at all. So I've done promos and just doing little things, make them simple.
You do them yourself.
I
for
do
them.
it myself to
help
get one
them out.
on there just so it helps out the venue and the artist. So
So
That's
guys,
awesome.
if you're just a local artist struggling or trying to figure it out, it's hard when you're first getting started. Reach out to Rick there on any one of his pages there, and he'll help you out. At
And your
times.
venues.
Yeah.
Reach out to him.
Absolutely.
And let him
Venues,
know.
reach out.
Yeah.
For sure. Let me do my own plug here. If you like this page, make sure you like it. Make sure it's a YouTube channel technically. So if you get on there, make sure you subscribe to it, like it, share it, do everything you can, because it does nothing for me. I mean, I ain't making $1 off it. Steve ain't making nothing. I ain't paying Rick a dime. I paid him through some liquid pork chops here, but
yeah, boy.
we're all doing this because we love it. So do your part. Help us share it. Once again, Kathleen Weaver, hearts go out from Kentucky to New York. The world's going to miss Scott for sure. Families, I know y'all are hurting, so our hearts go out and prayers go out to you guys. So remember, guys, when it comes to local music, you may love them, or local artists in the area, you may love them, you may hate them, but you're going to meet them right here on Uhlen Branch Blues. Thank you so much, guys, for listening.
Well, Rolling Stone don't gather no moss. It gathers no moss. And I've worn out these shoes, running through these honky tonks. Yeah, I've worn out these shoes, running through these honky tonks. Singing the Uhlen Branch Blues. Yeah, singing the Uhlen Branch Blues. That's right.